they slacked off or whatever reason, whatever they did. Like for my owner, she sort of slacked off for A levels for the last 1%. Last lab she took it chill. And hello everyone, my name is Jenty and welcome to another episode of Talking About My Owner's Life. Yes. Anyways, I want to continue the book summary that I started the previous video. So the previous book is called 见识 by Wu Jing, who is like one of the really early Google employees. Yeah. And then in the first 3 chapters, we talk about life in general. The first chapter was about how the point of life is happiness, and success is simply the means to the happiness and not the point of life. The second chapter is about minusing things off. So, Marie Kondoing your life and don't be so busy doing all the small things, such as, equivalent to picking out sesame seeds from the floor, and that you neglect the big things. So remember that the big things are like watermelon. So if you can pick out one watermelon, it would be better than picking out many sesame seeds. Yeah. And the third chapter is about the importance of expanding our horizons and, seeing life from different perspectives. In Chinese, there is a saying called 井底之蛙, which means frog at the bottom of a well. That frog right at the bottom of the well has very little very limited knowledge and perspective about the world because he's at the bottom of the well. But to him, that is the whole world. And so the author is arguing that no, we should, get out of our well, we should take off our blinders, don't put ourselves in silos, and really learn more about the world. Now, in this video, I will only talk about the next 3 chapters. So there are total 9 chapters, 3 chapters in the first video, and then this video I'll talk about chapters 4, 5, and 6. Chapter 4 is about wisdom of the masses. So this chapter, I have this notebook that I made. There are 4 main parts to it. So the first part is on friendships. So the author says that, friendship is actually an investment. We shouldn't be making friends with anybody and anyone because, some friends might really go way back with you. But then, if really as the two of you go along in life, and then you realize that the differences are getting bigger and bigger, and the most important thing is if he or she is actually dragging you down, being very negative, being a wet blanket, then you may consider, removing this person from your life or just distancing yourself from this person. It's okay to be different, but it's not that okay if the person is dragging you down. And then the next one, Larry Page's management wisdom. So there are 3 points to this. The first point is that Larry Page says that you should make your product like a toothbrush. So that's why I drew a toothbrush over here. So why a toothbrush? Because a toothbrush is something that you use every single day. So you want your product to be something that people use every single day. So that it's always being used, and then once people finish using it, they will get back to it again. And his second point is that focus on your mission statement and do only that. So instead of trying to do everything and anything and trying to just whack anything that you can think of, just focus on your mission statement. So for example, for Google, it is to send useful information to every user. So just focus on that, and then the value will come. And the third point is that know that companies will die one day, just like living creatures. So be prepared for the next step. And then afterwards, we move on to Warren Buffett's wisdom after Larry Page's. So Warren Buffett, he's like this investment guru genius guy. He also has 3 points. So the first thing is that he wouldn't do things that he don't understand. So he won't invest in things that he doesn't understand. Second is that he doesn't do empty stock. So I think he doesn't do leverage, and then he wouldn't like spend future money on it. Something along that line. I'm not really like a stocks investment person, but that is what I gathered from the book. And there is also this guy called Sima Qian, which is like a famous Chinese philosopher and a writer. So he also has some wisdom to impart. And the wisdom is about business. It's a business story. So he has this like very chim sentence. 故善者因之，其次利道之，其次教诲之，其次整齐之，最下者与之争。What does that mean? So this is like if you the most like the best solution, right, is to let people fulfill and use their own potential and strengths. And if they're not able to do that, then you can motivate them using benefits. So, like scholarships, for example, or money. And then if you can't do that, you can teach them. So, like, motivation is you send out like a branch and then the person come towards you. Teach is that you really have to like give a lot of words. If you can't teach the person, then oh well, you have to micromanage them. You have to 整齐. And it's only at the last option that you really just fight with them and force them and bend them to your will. Yeah. Okay, the last bit is on sales. So this guy who's very good at selling. The founder of Mobike. So the founder of Mobike also gave 3 points to teach us. So his first point is that selling means getting your money back. So if you don't get your money back, if you get the product out but you don't get your money back, it's not called selling. You do have to make profits. Your money has to come back. Number 2, which is similar to the toothbrush, slightly similar to the toothbrush that Larry Page talked about, is that let customers finish using what they bought so that they can buy more. Yeah, so you want your product to be finishable. It doesn't go on forever, and then after they finish, they can buy more. And then the last point is that let consumers feel like they have prestige. Make them feel that when they buy a product, they're not just buying the product, they're buying the values and the things surrounding the product. So if they buy the product and it's like society clearly recognized as wow, very prestigious, then people will want to buy more. Such as that branded bags, branded goods. Okay, now let me quickly go through the last 2 chapters. So the 5th chapter is about 拒绝伪工作者, which means that say no to fake workers or pseudo workers. So now, right, there's always that example of people doing so-called work, but actually they're just like filling their times with like checking social media and all kinds of random stuff. That's also why there are books like Deep Work and so on. So, so what are some of the things to avoid? So things to avoid includes getting outgrades, so-called outgrades that doesn't bring value, sticking to old tools or ways of doing things, using trial and error instead of looking for established ways or thinking it through, like how to do it properly, and also like not doing things right the first time. So that's also not a good thing because then you have to redo everything. So it's like wasted time, wasted effort, and also attending unnecessary meetings that is also like pseudo work. So the next point, right, is on the mistakes one makes from the idea of 10,000 hours of practice, and also like what one can take to overcome it. So the thing about this 10,000 hour thing is that it's not about, so long as you get 10,000 random hours of practice, you're going to become like a pro in whatever you want to do. If it's just simple repetition without increasing the difficulty level, then obviously you're not going to get much better. Let's say if every day you just do 3 sit-ups and you just go 3 sit-ups all the way, well, obviously you're not going to be as strong as people, as a person who slowly increases the difficulty level. Another mistake is to repeat your failures. So if you're already doing something wrong and then you just keep doing the same wrong thing over and over again, all you're going to do is to learn this failure. So that's not helpful as well. And also
that's why you must learn to make use of what you've learned. Now, whatever you learn from your failures, whatever you learn from the hours of practice, right, you must apply it. It's only applied knowledge, then it's your own knowledge. And then the other 2 points for this chapter, right, is about doing the last 1% well. It's, people can do things very well up to, say, the 99%, but then that last 1%, maybe they slacked off or whatever reason, whatever they did. Like for my owner, she sort of slacked off for A-levels for the last 1%, last lab, she took it chill, and then she still went to uni, but didn't get any A's, so that was sort of a disappointment for her. And then also to learn to record things down. Like how I'm sure nowadays content creation is so popular, a lot of content creators will tell you, just record things down, record your life. You never know when that can become a content at a later point in time. And also there is this thing called 不中听的话, which is words that you don't like to hear. Let's say other people give you a piece of the mind, or like it's just words that doesn't hit your ears the right way because they don't sound that nice. The author is saying that find the logical parts or the actually useful parts of these kind of words. Yes, maybe like it may be hurtful or etc. But then if there are gems that you can pick from it, then put down your ego, learn from it. And then the last part is about the career, or like the workplace. What are the mistakes someone might make, and then what are the ways to overcome it? So the first point that the author makes is that learning opportunity is more important than income. So sometimes the income might not be that high, but if that job allows you to learn a lot of things, then that learning opportunities might be more important than a high income, but then very about a job that doesn't allow you to learn as much. And then, right, there's this guy called Randall who came up with this hierarchy of like, I'll call it career. It's called 五级工程师. So anyway, so at the very bottom of the hierarchy, right, is a career person who can solve problems independently, don't need the boss to be around, which is great. And then after that, the second level is you can lead others to complete greater work. So like it's like a person who can lead, and then there's an impact to the company and to the world. And at the third level is a person who can design and create successful products. So for example, Apple, or like Microsoft, or like Tesla. A lot of people, these people, they all design and created successful products. Now the fourth layer is can create hard to replace works. So for example, artists, Picasso, Leonardo da Vinci, hard to replace works. And the highest one is to create an entirely new industry. So now I'm not sure whether Bill Gates is within the first round of personal computer revolution, but I would say there are these people who stand at the forefront. They create an entire new industry. For example, AI. So now artificial intelligence is very popular, and ChatGPT is really like revolutionized the field. Not sure what the future holds, but if that leads to a whole new industry created, then that person is at like the top of this pyramid. And then now other mistakes one can make. First one is job is not a profession. Now a job is something that allows you to make a living. So you earn money from your job, and then you get money for your hobbies and your life outside of work. Whereas a profession, right, is your career, is the field that you decided that I am going to specialize and do well in this and become an expert. So that is a profession. It's about your life's work. And the second mistake is thinking of the job as temporary. Okay, so now, right, this lesson is really very helpful to my owner. So in the beginning, for her current work, she kept thinking that her initial plan is to leave after 2 years. So in her mind, she's just thinking that I'm gonna leave, it doesn't matter. And because she think of her job as temporary, she didn't strive as much, and then she didn't take on like
she didn't work as hard as she should, or like that is good too. And she did regret it a little bit when she, and now still being in a job. It's now coming 4 years already. And after that, as she learned from her mistakes, she put in more effort into the job. She think of it as more long term. Then she realized she actually got a lot more from the job. The third point is to it's a mistake to lose your cool after verbal abuse. Okay, maybe not, yeah, or like criticism, you know. So like there is keep calm, maintain your boundaries, leave if you need to, but don't lose your cool. Of course, it's harder said than done, but you know, losing your cool usually doesn't help the situation. And the last part is to lack community in the workplace. Human beings are social animals. People can help us in many, many ways. So having a community at work is very important too.
Now there are 3 more points, but I'm just going to talk about the last one, which is on, in Chinese it's called 常识科技和艺术. So 常识 you can call it, translate it as common sense. 科技 is like science and tech, whereas 艺术 is art. So right, if you have 0 to 50% knowledge, it's like a common knowledge, you can get it from anywhere kind of thing. Whereas for 50 to 90%, this is where science and tech can bring us to reliably. And then the last bit, right, let's say guitar. So I came across this dude called, what's his name? Something Hanson. Yeah. So it's a Chinese guy, but with a West Caucasian dad. And then he is very good at playing the guitar. Or like, let's say there's a Chinese singer called Zhou Shen, which I really like a lot. So you can, your level of skills, right, or like the level of your product, etc., you can get to the 90 percentile using science and tech, etc. But the last part, right, the last 10% is how you make something in art. And if you want to be like really at the apex of your career pyramid, I mean, of course not everyone wants to, or there is really no need to, but if you want to be at the top of your career pyramid of your industry, of your field, right, that last 10% is where you have to work at to make it really an art. So that's all for today, and I think in the next video my owner should be showing herself. I mean, maybe she's masked, maybe she's not, but yep, 9 videos. I think thanks for watching my videos and accompanying me all this while till we meet again.